So without further ado, let's introduce to the stage. Get on your feet for Mr. Bob Proctor.
Greetings. Wow. Greetings, greetings. What a group. Jenna and Josh have really started something, haven't they? Wow. Back this up a bit. Thank you. I've been looking forward to coming here. You know, I came over to Vegas one day just to sit down and talk to Josh and Jenna. And I was pretty fascinated with what they were doing. They're so young and so alive, and they built something so phenomenal, really. You have something really to be proud of in those two, I'll tell you. They're great leaders. This afternoon, I'm going to share with you some of the information that I've been gathering over the past 58 years. I sat down with a man who was 58 years ago, and I'm telling you, I was lost. I didn't know which end was up. And he gave me this book. Now, I'm going to come back and refer to it a few times, but he said, if you do what this book suggests, he said, you can have anything you want. Now, at the time, I was 26. I was flat broke. I was earning $4,000 a year, and I owed $6,000. So if I had worked for 18 months and just paid debt, I would have nothing to live on to break even. It was an impossible situation. And I think there's a lot of people that get into a place where they feel it's an impossible situation. That it doesn't seem to matter what they do, they can't win. But I have come to learn that there's no such thing as an impossible situation. There's only situations that we have difficulty accepting. If we listen to someone that's done what we would love to do and then do exactly what they tell us, we're going to win. Now, that was a very unusual thing for me to do because I was 26. I'd been out of the Navy. I've been fired from all kinds of jobs. I would never do what anybody told me to do. In fact, I resented anybody telling me to do something. And so I had a very closed mind. I wasn't going to go far or do anything. And he said, read this book. Well, I didn't even read comic books. I had never read a book. But I'm going to tell you, when I started to read that and listen to him, and he said, do exactly what I tell you until you find out I'm lying or that I don't know what I'm talking about. He didn't tell lies, and he didn't know what he was talking about. And my life started to change. And so I want to share some of that with you and talk about where we're going and what we're doing. We talk about connecting the dots. Most people never learn how to connect the dots. School doesn't teach us how to connect the dots. And so a lot of people are wandering around, they don't know what to do. Their life isn't going where they want it to go. They're not doing what they want to do. And they're stuck. And they don't know how to change it. What I'm going to share with you is how to change any situation you've got. And you can connect the dots. We're going to talk about how to earn more money. I love earning money. I just absolutely love it. Now, you see, money enables us to do the things we want to do. Money enables you to extend the good you do far beyond your own presence. My partner and I made a decision a number of years ago. We were going to build schools in Africa. We build a new school every 2.5 weeks. Our goal is to build one every day. So we couldn't do that if we didn't have money. It cost a lot of money. So there's thousands of children now that are getting nutritious food, warm clothing, you know, just everything under getting educated because we have a little bit of money. Money makes you more of what you already are. If you're not a nice person, you'll become terrible. If you are a nice person, you'll become a nicer person. Money is like a magnifier, but it's the medium of exchange that's used all over the world. So for a person to say it's not important, it's absurd. It is important. It's vitally important. Then we want to add to that. We want to enjoy more freedom. You see, we've got the ability to create the kind of life we want, but it doesn't happen by accident. Yet, if you don't gain an awareness of who you are and what makes you tick, odds are pretty good you'll never be free. Most people live in a little cage of their own making, and they don't even know it. I want to share stuff with you that'll help you begin to live the life that you're really designed to live. You see, you and I are God's highest form of creation. There's nothing on the planet that will equal us. Now, I often point out that we're the only creature on the planet that's totally disoriented in our environment. It's true. All the other little creatures are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. We don't. We've been given the mental faculties to create our own environment. It's just that most people don't do a very good job of it. School doesn't teach us how to do it. You go right through our educational system, come out and know virtually nothing about yourself. Now, I want you to take your phone and look at it. I usually have mine in my pocket. I left it backstage. But take your phone for a moment, look at it. And think of this. Let each of those lines on the screen represent a level of vibration. Everything the phone can do, you can do with your marvelous mind. We refer to these levels of vibration as frequencies. And there's an infinite number of frequencies. Now your cell phone has its own frequency. If I've got your number in my phone, I can hit send, bang, you get the message. Doesn't matter where you are. I could take a picture, hit send, and simultaneously with me hitting it, you'll have it. See, in truth, there isn't any time or space. That's an illusion. We're dealing here with energy, and we're dealing with frequencies. We're dealing with energy. Everybody's phone has its own frequency. Well, you know, so do people. You can transfer pictures from your mind to somebody else's mind on the other side of the world just the same as you can with your phone. Now, most people never really gain an understanding of that or how to do that, but everything you're thinking, you're sending off charges of energy. Thought is energy. Thought waves are cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space. Thought waves makes the laser look puny. Yet the most potent form of energy is, most people don't really know much about it. They don't think very much about it. Every great leader that has ever lived has been in complete and unanimous agreement that you and I become what we think about. They've disagreed on almost everything else but that one point. We truly do become what we think about. You know, most people think of what they don't want. They spend time thinking about what they don't want. I get so sick of living this way. I'm so tired of never being able to afford it. I'm so sick of not taking a nice vacation. I'm so sick, and it's all they're talking about. And they're attracting it. They magnetize themselves to what they don't want. When I sat down and talked to Jenna, I felt like I was in an echo chamber. And she'd say things, and I felt like something was coming back at me, you know? Well, I want to take anything you've heard me say, I want to explain it. It's like I was saying to Jenna, I don't see myself, I'm not a public speaker. That's not how I see me. I've never belonged to a speaker bureau. I don't sell myself as a speaker. I see myself more as a teacher. When I figured out how the mind and how life works, all I want to do is teach it to somebody else, because my life had changed so dramatically. Well, if we will think of the phone, get it straight in your mind. Your mind works like the phone. Now look, when you get on another person's frequency, you're one with them and magic begins to happen. That's what happens. You can dial a number, somebody could be in Kosovo, oh hi, how are you doing? They're on the other side of the world. You know, I live in Toronto. I worked in Kuala Lumpur a lot. I went there every month for 5 years. It's 25 hours in the air from Toronto to KL. It takes 25 hours in the air to get there from Toronto. But I can touch the phone, bang, they're there. This is like magic. Well, do you know that everything we want is already here? You're going to find nothing's created or destroyed. Everything's already here, but we've got to get on the frequency that it's on. We've got to get on in tune with it. And when we do, it comes flying at us. Now, what The Secret didn't do, it didn't teach you much about the law of attraction. Talked a lot about it, but didn't teach much about it. Law of attraction is a secondary law. It's not a primary law at all. The law of vibration is the primary law. That law decrees everything vibrates, nothing rests. This whole building and everything in it, you and me and everything in it, is moving. It's energy and it moves. It's in a very high speed of vibration. This body we're living in moves. As we activate brain cells, everything in us starts to change. And we can activate those brain cells at will. So do you see, when you get on another person's frequency, magic starts to happen. When you sit down to invite a person into the business, don't be in a rush. Get to talk to them. Find out where they're from. What are they doing? What do they really want in life? Get to know them and listen. Most people don't listen. They talk and they hear, but they don't listen. You hear with your ears. You listen with your emotions. There's a big, big difference. You can hear what I'm saying. Are you really listening to it? Are you letting it sink right in? That's what I learned we have to do. Now, everything you want is also on its own frequency. I don't know what you want. If I were to sit with you one-on-one, that's what I would be digging for. I would be asking questions, and I would be wanting to figure out, what do you want? And you know, most people don't know what they want. If you don't really draw it out of them, you're not going to find out. Don't assume that they do know what they want, because hardly anyone does. Yet the bizarre part of this is they can have anything they want. You see, what's happening in this company, it's unusual, probably relative to the way you relate to companies in your life. But relative to the law, it's not unusual at all. It's somebody that knows what they're doing and they do it right. So what you want to do is become one with it. Find out what the person wants, become one with it. Now, look at your present results right now. I want you to really think about your results. If you're thinking about your income, look at your income. If you're talking about relationships, look at your relationships. If you're talking about your health, really take a good look at it. You're attracting what you're in harmony with. Now, if somebody had told me that when I first started, I wouldn't have liked it, because I didn't like what was coming into my life. I didn't like it at all. But we've got to understand, nobody's given it to us. If it's coming, we've earned it. If we don't like it, we can change it. It's so basic and so simple. Energy attracts like energy. This thing we're living in is a molecular structure. It's a massive energy and high speed of vibration. That photograph there would be Kirlian photography. In 1934, Semyon Kirlian, a Russian, perfected a form of photography, and you could photograph mass, and the energy coming from it would penetrate the camera, penetrate the film, and he perfected what's called today Kirlian photography. Well, there's a glow of energy around you. You can train yourself to see it, and you can certainly feel it. Yet whatever we're thinking controls the vibration we're in. Because as we think, we activate brain cells, and that's what causes us to vibrate. Like for me to move my arm up and down, I had to activate brain cells to do that. You often hear of a person maybe taking a stroke. The brain is the greediest part of the body when it comes to blood. Well, if the blood stops for some reason to go to a group of cells in the brain, those cells die. That's the electrical system's cut off. And then the arm's just hanging. Won't work. But we have found, now they used to leave them like that until they died, we found if you move the arm, open the hand, close the hand, move the arm, you will educate healthy cells to do what the damaged cells can no longer do, and the person gets the use of the limb back. But what they've done is reprogram other brain cells. Now, what you're thinking dictates how you feel. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. When you say, I feel, what you're really talking about is the vibration you're in. You say, I feel terrible. You're in a terrible vibration. Change your thinking. But you know, a person in a terrible vibration doesn't want to hear that. It's almost like they want to enjoy their misery. You know people like that. Now you see somebody else and they say, God, I just feel phenomenal. That they are choosing good pictures. Well, make a decision to become one with whatever you want. Now, I would imagine there's someone here that is very new in the company. You just started, and you're here at the conference, and you don't even know what the positions are, but you want to go right to the top. Well, find out what that top position is and act as if you're already there. Now, how would you do that? Well, find somebody that's there and see how they act. Listen to them, find out what they talk about. Watch them, see how they work. Then say, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I have been teaching this for a long, long time, and every now and then I see somebody that's doing that. Do you know what the problem with most people? They don't know what they want. They really don't know what they want. And it's rather sad, because you can have anything you want. There is absolutely no limits, none. Now, you know, there's a part of our mind that understands that, our intellect can grasp that, but does our paradigm, does our emotional mind grasp it? Most people's emotional mind won't grab it. Well, I just can't grab that, you know. I mean, anything you want? Yeah, anything, anything.